Hey guys, Leigh here with the Oxford Street Partners real estate team serving Southwest Washington State. Going to be going over what happened in this last week with residential sales in Southwest Washington, specifically Clark County. Can do expansion options into Skamania, Cowlitz, and so forth, but for today we are doing Clark County, hitting the big five names in the area: Vancouver, Camas, Washougal, Ridgefield, and Battleground. So anyway, if you're looking to keep in touch with what's going on in the area, what's happening in the market, make sure you like and subscribe and get the notifications for future videos. Going to do this on a week-by-week basis. Anyway, so for April 26th through May 3rd, here is what happened in Clark County. So the county itself had 264 new listings hit the market last week, and 127 properties sold last week as well. Sold not meaning getting under contract, sold meaning money exchanged hands, likely keys did too. The average sale price for Clark County based off last week's sales, $618,000, almost $619,000. The average days on market for the ones that did sell in last week, 62 days. So on average, taking about 2 months to find a buyer there. The average sale price to original list price, not the current list price. So let's say something listed at $1 million, and we're not doing it, we're doing it based off that number, not if they adjusted to 900 and then took like an 850. We're doing it based off the original price, right? I think it's a more true reflection of understanding where sellers are trying to be, where they think their value is versus what buyers are doing in the end. If someone moves their price to say 900 and the deal gets done at 900, the average sell price to list price percentage would be 100%, but it's not a true reflection on where the seller started. So the average for the county based off last week's sales, 96.51%. And the average dollar per square foot price, 301. Now, how does that compare to the big five in the area? So Vancouver saw 141 of those new listings, 68 sales last week. The average price point, 523,000 and change. Average days on market for Vancouver actually was lower. It's predominantly a resale market, Vancouver. There are some areas of new construction, but again, most things are going to be resale. 48 days on the market for Vancouver, so quite lower than the rest of the county. 97.56 for that sale price to original list price percentage. Now, if you're wondering, what does that really mean in the market? 97.56% is not a terrible percentage. There's still really good buyer to seller negotiations happening, but it's not dramatically that sellers are just giving away money hand over fist because they're just begging for a buyer. It's not that market. So I know we've had a few buyers come to the plate lately thinking, hey, can we get 80% of the listed price on the deal? Simply, you're going to have to find a unicorn for that situation. A very unique situations all coming together for the perfect storm. We're just not that market. $290 per square foot in Vancouver for what's sold. Now those numbers can change depending if you're 1 level, 2 level, what lot size you have, how many bedrooms you have, what part of Vancouver you have or live in, how old's the house, all these different metrics, but the average was 290. Going to Ridgefield, a much more growth-driven community. 25 new listings last week, 19 sales. So the absorption rate was actually pretty close to what came on. 672,000 and change for the average sale price. 90 days on the average days on market. Not surprising considering most of the product up there is new construction. 97.01% for the sale price to original list price. $317 on the price per square foot. Going over to the east side of town at Camas, 29 new listings, 13 sold last week. Average sale price $805,000. That's down on last year for sure, but newer product. They've got some new construction at a lower price, which will be driving that. 68 days on market for Camas on average, 98.72% on the sale price to original list price. Camas is usually one of the most favorable markets in Clark County, so not unexpected to see that being a higher rate. $306 a square foot on average. Staying near them, Washougal, 24 new listings last week, only 5 sales. Now, most of these sales that they had last week were custom builds, so their average sale price to original list price is actually over 100 at 101.51. The average sale price $1,070,000, 73 days on the market on average. Price per square foot $371. Again, because those 5 sales, the numbers are much more skewed to particular properties versus really giving you a broad understanding of what's going on with the market in Washougal when we get to such a low number of sales in the area. And lastly, kind of back up to the north part of the county, Battleground, 26 sales, 14 sold, average sale price $591,000, days on market 63, 96.37% on the list price, sale price to original list price percentage, $265 per square foot on average. Now, that kind of wraps up what's going on in the area. So depending on where you're looking, hopefully you're kind of seeing an understanding of what's going on a broad sense for those areas. Now, if you're looking to buy something in this market, make sure you're keeping an eye on these numbers so you know, what's my buyer competition doing? How should I approach a seller with regards to negotiation? Typically, obviously, less days on market, they're less negotiable. However, are they thinking about these numbers ahead of time that might give you the opportunity to have that conversation at the beginning? Now, if you have any particular questions or you want specific information, make sure to jot them in the comments and reach out. If you would like more updates, like, subscribe, and put the notifications on this page. We're going to do this on a weekly basis, keeping you informed of what's going on in Clark County. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.